Welcome back to PLAYtheGAMEcentral, and today I'm going to be making a video about Mob of the Dead. Now today I was looking through some of the game files, some of the sound files and just like the general asset files, and found some interesting stuff. Now the most interesting stuff is actually some audio files which I'll play for you in a little bit, but we actually believe it's to do with the new Hell's Bells Easter egg. And it's a piece of monologue from like each character, which gives us a little bit of kind of information as why they might be in prison, or what it is that made them kind of who they are and decided to do the things that they did to get them thrown in prison in the first place. But I was also looking through the actual files, and I found some interesting stuff that caught my eye. Now the first thing that caught my eye, which actually turned out to kind of be nothing, is weapon_Shiv, but unfortunately that just turns out to be the default weapon. I just don't understand how nobody noticed that, or at least I didn't, or nobody else talking to did. So I saw that, I got really excited, and then I was like, oh no, it's just a default weapon. But it didn't really make any sense to me why there would be a second weapon when you already have the golden spork, and that's so good as it is anyway. There are also a bunch of files that are in here that I believe just kind of get thrown in when they, go to make the map. It's just some default stuff that's already there. There's actually semtexes in there, but obviously they're not in the map. Maybe they were taken out, or maybe they're just something that's default in all of the zombie maps. When they go to make it, it's just kind of default there. There's also a teddy bear in the files, but I don't know where that is in the game, or if it's even in the game at all, and it might just be, once again, the default thing that's kind of in there, but they just didn't use it. Also, the dog symbols on the wall, the wolf, the demons, whatever you want to call them, we now have a much better name for them. They're actually listed as Dreamcatchers, which is a bit weird. So when somebody says, let's go feed the dog, it's much cooler to call it a Dreamcatcher now, much better than a dog. A Dreamcatcher, much better. So I found that was quite interesting. It's a bit of a weird name, but kind of makes sense at the same time. Something else that also caught my eye was, now I'm not entirely sure if this is exactly what it is, because they all have kind of funny names. I'm not a map maker, so some of the things I'm not entirely sure about, but I saw upgraded windows. Now obviously there are no metal barriers, however I also saw what looked to be, this might not actually be what it is, but what looked to be upgraded window, but instead of using metal boards it used prison cell bars. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure, they're always given the weird names, underscore this, underscore that, but it was the same as the boards and the metal boards, so it could have been, maybe they were thinking about adding it. I actually believe when you play Mob of the Dead and you spawn in, you'll notice a lot of the windows don't have any boards on them when you start walking around the map. I believe that they actually did that because it was causing some performance issues, maybe. That's the actual reason why a lot of the windows don't actually have boards on them, is because they took them off so it wouldn't have performance issues. And maybe that's why they never used the upgraded bars, because it was performance issues. They didn't want to give people the reason to go around and upgrade all the window barriers. I know it sounds like a really stupid thing, but you just have to believe me on that one. I mean, I've not had too good of a look for all of these files. I might have a bit of a further look over the next couple of days. It's a little bit boring going through them. But people, before I've made videos saying like something doesn't exist, and people get quite angry at me, and I'm like, if it's not in the game files, it doesn't exist. Like, I hear a lot of talk recently about an additional plane route where you go to the city or something, and I'm like, no, that's not even the point of the story. There's nothing in the game files, no cityscape, there's no buildings from a city in there. It's not there, it's not in the game files, it doesn't work with the story. Stop saying it, it gets on my nerves. Sorry, I just had to rant about that, because people are really stupid sometimes. If it's not in the game files, it's not there. They encrypt this stuff and everything, so it's not like you can just go wandering in and grab whatever you want easy peasy. Anyway, you probably want to hear the cool sound files, and I will play them for you now.
Hey Sal, do you still hear her? Does she call to you in the dark of the night, begging, pleading for you to stop? You only saw blind rage, your own insecurities boiling over. You really think she deserved it, don't you, Sal?
It's always the dames, isn't it, Finn? Like they got a fucking sixth sense that leads them right into your blind spot. All those years at the track, Wait until the last second before you lay down the cash that would swing the odds in your favor. You always seem like such a sweet boy, Billy. Do you think he knew the truth, Billy? What really went on in that cold, dark heart of yours? Losing your mother must have been so hard for you. So young, so beautiful. Everyone told you how brave you were. Everyone but your father.
Daddy had no idea, did he, Billy? Just a hard-working Joe, trying to put food on the table for his wife and son. He thought he was the only one bringing money into the house. He had no idea what was really going on. You knew, didn't you? You saw and you heard everything. Even as a lost little boy, you knew what the truth would do if it ever came out. It had to end sometime, Billy. You just happened to be the one who ended it. So many victims, so much pain. But you can't push it away, can you? Even when you hurt others, doesn't make it stop, does it? It's ironic, isn't it, Billy? The harder you try not to feel anything, the more it actually hurts. You used to think you could push it all onto someone else. Someone who actually deserved it. You ought to just accept what you are, Billy. A monster.
So there you go, some interesting stuff. I thought I'd make a quick video on this, as I've made some good finds today. And I'm going to do some further investigation into the game files, and I'll keep you posted. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.